Thank you very much, my friend Giulio Terzi. Thank you for welcoming us. Thank you for hosting this very, very important meeting here in Rome. We are honored to be here. And Sheikh Moaz Khatib, thank you for joining us today and being part of this important discussion. It's a pleasure to be here working with friends on a very important and consequential issue. And we are grateful for the opportunity to come together with allies, partners, working together in pursuit of peace as a first resort. Particularly important to be joined here today by our partners in this endeavor, the Syrian Opposition Coalition. They are the legitimate voice of the Syrian people. And that stands in very stark contrast to the rule of Bashar al-Assad, who long ago lost his legitimacy and who is out of time and who must be out of power. So with our united voice today, and the voices of those other ministers who joined us from other countries, from the Gulf, across Europe, with our united voice today, we express our commitment to helping the Syrian people in order to achieve their goal to live in a free and a safe and a just society. Their goal is our goal. And so we are determined to find a way forward to a better day that we know awaits Syria, a day that will not come as long as Assad is in power. For more than a year, the United States and our partners who gathered here today in Rome have called on Assad to heed the voice of the Syrian people and to halt his war machine. Instead, what we have seen is his brutality increase. Just this week, we witnessed a desperate leader engage in ruthless attacks on Aleppo with rockets and with the appalling use of Scud missiles, claiming dozens of innocent lives. I heard this morning the story of maybe 50 to 70 young men and women who were taking an exam, dreaming of their future, whose lives were snuffed out by one of Bashar al-Assad's Scud missiles. That's what he thinks of the future and of the people of Syria. Even hospitals have come under attack in his cold-blooded effort to cling to power. The simple fact is, Assad cannot shoot his way out of this. And as he deludes himself in pursuit of a military solution, the United States, our partners, and now the Syrian Opposition Coalition, make a different choice. Our choice is a political solution, outlined in the Geneva Communiqué, which Russia has also signed on to. It is in line with the opposition's own transition plan. And this must include a transitioning governing body with full executive powers formed on the basis of mutual consent. This is the right path to peace, and it is one that can unite the Syrian people, rebuild a society that respects and protects them regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or gender. These are the same standards that we set for our own countries. So there's nothing different here. All Syrians, including those who have not yet taken sides in this conflict, must know that they all can have a future in a post-Assad Syria. The opposition is prepared to take the steps necessary to get there. The question we ask today is this: will the regime allow its people this chance at peace, or is it going to continue its brutal campaign? Because as we make clear today, the United States' decision to take further steps now is the result of the continued brutality of a superior armed force, propped up by foreign fighters from Iran and Hezbollah, all of which threatens to destroy Syria. The United States and all the countries represented here believe the Syrian Opposition Coalition can successfully lead the way to a peaceful transition. But they cannot do it alone. They need more support from all of us, and they need Bashar al-Assad to make a different set of decisions. So today, on behalf of President Obama, who has been very clear about the stakes in Syria, I am proud to announce that the United States of America will be providing an additional $60 million immediately in non-lethal assistance to support the coalition in its operational needs day to day as it continues to organize and work for the political transition that we all want to see. And I look forward to working with the United States Congress on this. This funding will allow the opposition to reach out and help the local councils to be able to rebuild in their liberated areas of Syria so that they can provide basic services to people who often lack access today to medical care, to food, to sanitation. This includes helping Syrians preserve institutions of state, which are critical to enabling a future transition in Syria itself, and also to helping those who work within them, those without blood on their hands, to be able to continue to do their important humanitarian work. We will also channel this assistance to those projects and local groups that the coalition decides needs it the most. And as the regime continues to lose ground, these funds will also help the opposition forces and political leaders be able to extend stability as well as build representative government and rule of law, and extend that rule of law to those newly liberated areas. I want to make clear, this new support that President Obama has ordered is on top of more than $50 million that we've provided to help the Syrian activists organize opposition efforts across the country, to be able to communicate with each other and to broadcast a message of hope across their country. Today in our meeting, which I found to be remarkably united, every country expressing its revulsion against these scuds, against the tactics of this regime, every country articulating an urgency to our need to unite in our efforts to help the people of Syria against an enemy that respects no battlefield rules. In 2011, the armed Syrian opposition was a small group dedicated to protecting peaceful protesters. Now it is holding and extending the front lines against elite regime forces. The United States has decided that, given the stakes, the President will now extend food and medical supplies to the opposition, including to the Syrian opposition's Supreme Military Council. So there will be direct assistance to them, though non-lethal. Of course, we will continue to work with our partners to provide critical humanitarian support for all Syrians in desperate need of relief. Some 3,000 refugees a night crossing into Jordan, tens of thousands of refugees in Turkey. That's why the United States is providing $385 million for everything from emergency food, shelter, blankets, surgical equipment, and mobile clinics. And in the Atma refugee camp on the Turkish border, we are bringing in medical supplies. In all cases, we are working and we will continue to work closely with the Syrian Opposition Coalition and our international partners in order to make sure that the assistance we give reaches the people who need it and that we want to have receive it, even those who are trapped in some of the hard-to-reach areas. All of this work will be guided by our partners in the Syrian Opposition Coalition and in the Supreme Military Council. We had a very thorough discussion today in which all of the leaders present articulated their further needs for the opposition, and I will be taking some of these ideas back to Washington for further consideration. We agreed that we will consult on a regular basis, in constant touch with each other, and meet when necessary. and we consult together whenever we deem appropriate. Now, we all understand this is a complicated challenge, but the principle that guides this challenge is very simple. No nation, no people should live in fear of their so-called leaders, and all people deserve freedom and the opportunity to live in peace and dignity and with justice. We cannot meet this moment so long as this leader decides to wage war on his own people in the manner that he has chosen. And we must meet this moment so that the people of Syria can live their full promise. Thank you.